Joining us now on the Picks for Polls podcast, we've got Lenoir-Rhyne defensive back Franklin Wheeler in the house. You can check him out on Twitter at the J Wheeler. He's going to be talking to us about his college experience, prep for the draft, and why he's a name that you need to know for this offseason and for a handful of years moving forward. Frank, how's it going? Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, man. And I'm blessed to be here. Blessed the opportunity to talk to you and to be on your platform, man. It's a blessing.
Absolutely. And again, I know you're super busy. We appreciate you making the time to kind of come out and do this with us, but let's just get right into this thing because college, you're currently at Lenoir-Rhyne, sort of finishing up there. You're closing that chapter, but you're also at Barton College. I mean, what made Barton College such a good fit for you? And then why the transition to Lenoir-Rhyne?
So Barton College is fairly new to the football scene. They didn't have a football team for over 70 years, and starting a program from scratch and kind of being a pillar there at that program was kind of something that I feel like I couldn't turn down in that very moment. Coming out of high school, I started playing football in high school, so I'm a little bit of a late bloomer. And Barton was an appealing option to me and stuff like that. I can come in, kind of help build a culture and a foundation for a program going forward. And not only that, it was really good for my development, not being as developed as everybody else, not playing football all my life and stuff like that. So I was still fairly new and still learning the small nuances of the game, playing defensive back. My first year ever playing defensive back was my senior year of high school, and then I was good enough to be able to garner a lot of Division II offers, some Division I PWOs, and offers from all over division. So I was blessed to be able to have a good strong senior year and stuff like that. And then just being at Barton College, man, it was a blessing in itself. Not only did it open avenues for me to get better in the game of football, learn more about myself as a person, but it granted me opportunity to get an education. I left Barton College with a master's degree in kinesiology, and then I maxed out my academia at Barton College, so I really couldn't attend there no more, even if I really wanted to. And what made Lenoir-Rhyne so appealing, so currently Doug Socher is the head coach at Lenoir-Rhyne University, great guy, great head coach, defensive coordinator Robbie Owens. His resume speaks for itself. He went to seven, eight straight championships, I believe, and you don't do that for no reason. So biggest reason why I wanted to go to Lenoir-Rhyne, not only is it a perennial Division II powerhouse in the nation. They compete every year and have some of the best talent, but it's just more about the culture and the fact that the coach staff that is currently there came from a recent NAI national championship at Koshul University. So being exposed to the way they do things and their culture and stuff like that, I feel like exponentially made me better as a football player, especially mentally and IQ wise. I feel like I developed a lot just in that perspective, more than any perspective at all. Being exposed to different strength and conditioning opposed to Barton College was really good. When I was at Barton College, I couldn't really gain a whole bunch of weight like I really wanted to, just because my frame, I'm a little lankier person, so it's a little hard for me to retain weight at Lenoir-Rhyne University for the first time in my life. I surpassed 190 pounds. That was probably the biggest I've been my whole career. I've normally been a 184, 185 guy, so being there, being able to put on 5 extra pounds of muscle and stuff like that, it was really cool. And then also being at Lenoir was my first time ever experiencing summer training. Being there, unfortunately, we couldn't do summer training at Barton College, so going through the summer program at Lenoir-Rhyne, getting acclimated to that system, how the coaches do things, building new relationships with my new teammates was an experience I'll never forget.
That was awesome because you just rattled off a whole bunch of stuff there in terms of why both schools were such good fits for you. And it's so interesting to me because for a lot of guys, that were probably in your position in the world of the transfer portal and stuff, right? They probably would have used a program like Barton to kind of get that stepping stone, put a year of tape together and probably leave for a bigger program. But the unique thing about you is you kind of stuck with it and then said, all right, let's go to Lenoir-Rhyne now for a season and just be able to get out there and, continue to work towards your dream. But now I got to ask you this, right? So what was the difference in competition between both schools? Like, was it significantly different or you feel like football was the same wherever you were?
So, Barton College when I was at Barton College, we were an associate member of South Atlantic Conference. So in terms of playing opponents, the competition was pretty the same. The conferences we played, great teams like Wingate University, Mars Hill, Limestone, consistent teams that are playoff contenders every year. So in terms of competition and opponents, it was about the same. I mean, of course, teams get better year in and year out. Now, in terms of practice at Lenoir-Rhyne was most definitely more competitive and better. More, you had to be more on your A game. Definitely had to actually use all your full skill set, your technique, your tools, be more mentally inclined to be able to grasp more difficult concepts of football. It was definitely more advanced in terms of the playbook. More, and then at the end of the day, I went against great athletes day in day out. You have guys like uh, Andre Jefferson, for example, who is one of the top prospects in the out of Division II in the entire draft class. And then just seeing him how he worked and stuff like that, you can see why he's as good as he has. I had the opportunity to play with great players like Nick Cheeley, who was a first-team All-American at safety, who was also a great player and stuff like that. And also, not only these guys are athletically talented, they're also mentally on point with the game. They're students of the game, and being able to be around those guys and absorb from them, I feel like was very beneficiary for me. As I said, my journey for football is a little different. I never really sat behind any older guys, stuff like that, or was any behind older guys and really learned from them and see what they did and what they did not. So just being able to get like that gave me a different insight of the game and gave me, in my opinion, really, really great mental reps whenever I wasn't getting repetitions and stuff like that. And then just honestly, just the way the practices were ran was just were more pro-like. We always started off practices with good on good, ones against ones, twos against two. So that was very different for me than the practice operation compared to Barton. It was a little more. It was more intentional, more detailed. Definitely had more purpose, and that's what comes with the perks of having a more experienced coaching staff, having more coaches on staff, so you'd be able to do more stuff. So it was more detail oriented, and I really, really enjoyed my time there.
That was good information. I have to ask you, you are a cornerback playing a incredibly unique position, but in terms of the mental side of the game, right? Like football is the type of game where sometimes you're going to have a play that goes your way. Sometimes you're going to have a play that doesn't go your way. But mentally, the season's a grind. Every game is a grind. How do you just keep yourself going, knowing that there's always a play that needs to be made and you can't necessarily dwell on what happened like a play ago or 2, 3, 4 plays ago?
Absolutely. Playing the game of defensive back, I mean, it's a win and loss position. You're going to give up some things sometimes, but you have to be able to forget that and next play mentality. At the end of the day, it's a high risk, high reward position. At the end of the day, everybody sees your mistakes, but they're never going to praise you for the positive things that you do. You can hold somebody for 3 quarters, 0 catches, and then they can get a big catch on you 4th quarter. Now you're having a bad game in terms of public eye and stuff like that. So I take on that challenge of playing defensive back in the high risk and high reward that it has to position as a privilege and an honor, because it is. At the end of the day, you can't really have a successful game unless you're covering good in the back end. I mean, of course, you can't have a good game if any other position is not doing good, but in that position is very, very pivotal and imperative that you have the right guys in that position, because that can impact wins and losses. And I try to take that into account, that if I give up something I know I was an inch away from playing, cool. Next time the opportunity comes around, make the play, learn from the mistake, and keep pushing forward. And at the biggest thing is live to fight another down.
That was awesome, by the way, because I feel like, playing DB, you're so right about things. I mean, there is a lot of the, hey, you do some really good, but then there's also the, oh, well, you allowed a touchdown or you didn't get that, it was a pass breakup, but it didn't necessarily result in an interception. And so to hear it from you in terms of like, yeah, you have to keep going no matter what, I think was pretty cool. Now, moving into draft prep, right? So what's the daily routine like? How many days a week are you working out, training? Do you have a trainer, or are you kind of just working out on your own?
So I'm doing a little bit of both. I have a speed trainer. I normally do speed training about 3 times a week. So I do that. I do my speed training here locally. I'm currently residing in Hickory, North Carolina, where Lenoir-Rhyne is. I live here with my wife and my son. And then I do strength training and defensive back training in Charlotte, North Carolina, with Coach Myers. He's a guy that he works with all ages and stuff like that. I work with him about 3 to 4 times a week. And then aside from, if I'm not with them and I have extra time, of course, I love getting it in on my own. Whether I go to a field on my own or do work on the small repetition, small refined techniques. I can go also lift on my own. So I do a mixture of both. I have my schedule mainly. I work Monday. I work Monday through work out Monday through Saturday for the most part. My main defensive back sessions are on Sundays and stuff like that. Normally Wednesday is kind of like a recovery and an off day where I'll go maybe get stretched, some massage therapy, or go to a cryotherapy place that's here locally and stuff like that. So my schedule has definitely been vigorous, but it's been worth it, and I've been seeing gains, I've been seeing results, so I love it. It makes it addicting.
I mean, just from the smile on your face talking about the gains you made, it certainly sounds like you are doing just that. But, I have to ask you this too. So the defense is going to play as one whole unit. Do you prefer a defense that features 3 down linemen or 4 down linemen, or does it not really matter to you in terms of what front is basically the first level of defense?
In terms of, that's a great question. So in my career, mainly I played in a 4-2-5 at Barton, and then the kind of the last year I was there, we kind of switched over to a 3-3 stack predominantly. And here at Lenoir-Rhyne, we ran a 3-3 stack as well. Honestly, it really doesn't matter if there's 3 linemen or 4 down linemen. I believe that I can fit into any scheme regardless. I think I best fit in most schemes as an outside cornerback to the boundary or even a nickel. I also played a lot of snaps at safety too. I have positional versatility. I played pretty much every single position in the secondary throughout my career, and made some good plays at each one of them. I believe that I provide flexibility to play any position that allows me to do many different things, that kind of grants me value in that aspect, that where this guy can do many different things and we can put him in those spots and he can do his thing.
Let's talk that positional versatility. I mean, was that something where you went to the coaching staff and you're like, hey, put me all over the field? Or was it something that started off in high school and college coaches just recognized? Or was it something where it was really just like coaches recognized the athlete that you were and said, all right, well, now you're going to play corner. Now you're playing in the slot. Now you're playing safety?
Honestly, it was more something that the coaches recognized. I've never been a person to never ever say, this is the position that I play, let me play this position. That's not the type of player I am. I want to be able to provide that versatility and flexibility to coaches, because it lets me know that I'm dependable. And the biggest thing is that, especially at Barton, I played everything. I played outside cornerback. I would play safety at the boundary, safety in the middle of the field. I would even sometimes line up on box safety on tight ends. I did a lot of things there in Lenoir-Rhyne. I started off as cornerback, and Conoco's mid-season, we were kind of having a lot of injuries towards safety. So towards the middle of the season, I got moved to safety, and I was mainly used in like personnel packages, coming in on third downs, maybe extra safety on the hedge, or sometimes lining up on a tight end to cover and stuff like that. And I had a big role in special teams at Lenoir-Rhyne. Even played a lot of special teams at Barton. And if you look at the positions that I played on every single special teams, I was in worker position. So I'm not, I'm not making all the flashy plays and stuff like that, but I'm doing the dirty work. I'm making the hard blocker, making the hard protection, and I play with relentless effort. You're always gonna see that. At the end of the day, I play super duper hard. I never give up on the play. One thing that I believe in is no home run touchdowns. You can see a lot of my film, when people break loose, I'm going after to get tackle them, so we have another chance to live to fight another down. And just being able to play at different positions is just a testament to how my coaches believed in me and believed in the athlete that I was. I do have the positional versatility to line up outside and cover the best guy outside. I can even cover the best guy inside. I can play on the hash where we're playing cover 2 man, play over the top, have guys in trail technique. I can play in the box where you need me to read the C gap and fit the run, or I'm playing lockdown coverage on a tight end. I believe that in terms of every aspect in the game of defensive back, I believe I can perform.
You rattled off, I think, like every single football coach's dream right there in terms of the way that you explain things. Like that is, I think, a coach's dream right there in terms of just like players knowing their roles and what they can do and so much more. But, I have to ask you, you mentioned how you can line up in different spots, right? So would you, if you had to pick, right, between playing field corner or boundary corner, which is the one that you would choose?
I believe I can play both, but I would play boundary just because not only that's more of a one-on-one matchup, guys, and I believe in man-to-man coverage, especially in press. I believe that is where I'm my most comfortable and where I'm my best at. I'm a very physical defensive back, very, very aggressive. I love contact. I love getting my hands on people, and I believe that I read the run really, really good, and I fit the run pretty good. So not even just the boundary, you have to be able to cover one-on-one. You have to be able to make plays on the perimeter, which I believe that I can do.
Is it like, describe your physical style of play? What does being physical mean to you?
Honestly, it's just being relentless, and having that want to be able to get to the football and make a physical play. At the end of the day, when I see somebody running towards me, I'm thinking hit him, get him, be aggressive, get him to the ground. I'm a very, very physical tackler. Maybe my approach sometimes can be a little unorthodox, how I get people to the ground and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if I get my hands on people, nine times out of 10, they're going to go to the ground regardless of how big they are. I take pride in getting people to the ground and finding minimizing any type of gains I can make in the run game, or maybe if somebody catches a pass, runs a good route, or make a contested catch, still get them to the ground. No explosive plays. That's the biggest thing. And then when I'm talking about being physical, is shedding blocks, maybe having to be selfless and set the edge to make the ball bounce back inside or setting the edge so nobody gets outside of you, stuff like that. And I take pride in doing stuff like that. I love it.
What drives you to constantly be relentless play after play? I mean, is there like a motivating factor, or is it just sort of intrinsic that you're just like, hey, I love this game so much that I'm going to be the best player out there every single time?
It's definitely intrinsic. Just a little background about me. Before I played football, I wrestled. So like the terms of the physical nature and stuff like that, and being with somebody one on one, the physicality, that's kind of just me. That's my personality. I'm naturally an aggressive person. I'm naturally rough. That's just me. And then playing the game of football is just like no other. I love the physical aspect of the game more than any part of the game. I love the fact that you can be physical, be tough, and somebody with no punishment. So like honestly, playing the game of football and stuff like that, you have to have the want to be physical. If not, you're not going to be very successful. And then just in terms of just my motivation, what keeps me going, as of right now it's my family. At the end of the day, I have a wife who believes in me. I have a 11-month-old son. I love him to death. And then just being propelled in that position of not only a fatherhood, of being a partner and stuff like that, it gives you an extra drive. So you're going to go harder naturally just to do extra things. You're going to go above and beyond and do things that normal people wouldn't do. Sometimes I sprint harder than what is demanded to me. I go put extra weight on the bar, whatever I got to do. That's just my personality. I like going above and beyond what is required of me.
When teams bring you into the building, what type of person and player are they going to get? You know, when you sit down with them and discuss, like, hey, this is who I am, this is what I'm all about. Like, what type of person and player are they getting?
Well, first off, they're gonna get a God fearing man. I'd keep the Lord in the pinnacle of my life. And I know faith is not necessarily a popular topic, but it's very important to me. At the end of the day, I believe Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior in my life. So I operate with that Christ-like grace and that Christ-like aura every day. And that doesn't take away from the fact that I'm still a physical player and I still enjoy the violent part of the game, but I still operate with class. You're going to get a professional. You're going to get somebody that's very intentional with the way he's doing his routine, and that's kind of a blessing. Like having a real life circumstances, wife and a kid. Like I take care of my family. I live on my own. Don't really have no help. We pay bills and stuff like that. I have real grown man responsibility. So you're going to get that guy that's going to have the mentality at the end of the day, like, this is my job and this is what I want to do for life. And I'm going to carry that responsibility, carry that want to with me everywhere I go. I believe in community. You're going to get somebody who's going to be very active in the community, who's going to help out, try to lead kids, be a role model to children by operating with class, being respectful, playing the game with honor, respecting my opponent, but never fearing them. You're gonna get all out effort from me. I play hard. I play even times that you maybe feel like I mess up. I'm still going to play hard and finish the play just to do that. And that's just the type of person I am. I always go hard. Not one thing that you're never going to have to question about me is my work ethic. I'm going to put the time in to be successful. And that's the biggest thing. I'm going to go above and beyond. I'm intentional about keeping my body healthy. I'm going to be in the training room. I'm going to be in the ice baths. I love getting extra film time. I love talking to coaches. I love talking to other players. I love learning from other players. I love every single part of the game, and I'm not closed off to any scenario of getting better, whether I have to learn from somebody else who's been here or learn from a veteran, or asking questions that may other people shy away from. I'm going to ask those uncomfortable questions because I'm curious. I want to get better, whether it's mentally, physically. I just want to get better and better and better.
Let's switch the topic here and talk about the city of Chicago and the Bears. Because, we're a Bears media outlet. We're based here in Chicago. Chicago's a city that's known for really good defensive backs. I mean, it's a city that's known for defense. This is a super passionate fan base as well. But I have to ask you, what do you know about the city of Chicago? What do you know about the Bears fan base?
So what I know about the Bears fan base is, you guys are passionate. You guys love your team. I know you guys have had growing pains in the past from the quarterback position and stuff like that, but you guys have that area of the piece. I do think you guys are on an upward trajectory. And the biggest thing is you guys are elite on defense. Not everybody knows about the 95 Bears. It's one of the best defensive units to ever grace the field in the National Football League. And you have legends who played there. Brian Urlacher, the linebacker. You have Peanut Tillman, Charles Tillman, Peanut Punch, who revolutionized turnovers in football. And on top of that, You guys have had very, very good players in the past, from running backs, Walter Payton. So, like, you guys are a very, very well-known franchise and one of the most prestigious franchises in the whole NFL. And I know you guys are happy because you guys have a very promising future with a very prestigious coach in Ben Johnson coming over from a successful stint with the Detroit Lions. You guys have a future franchise quarterback, well, not future, but current franchise quarterback in Caleb Williams, who I believe will be eventually a top 5 quarterback. He possesses every skill trait. You guys have really good defensive players. Kyler Gordon's really good. I see he's up for an extension. He's a really good player in the nickel, and I actually study him a lot. I like his game. I like the tenacity he plays with. Good players, and Tyreek Stevenson. Jalen Johnson is the most underrated cornerback in the entire football league. He's a shutdown guy. And then you don't really come across a lot of guys in the NFL who week in, week out shut down the best receivers. So I study and I respect his game a lot. And then Chicago Bears, man, I would love to be there. It's just anywhere. Chicago Bears, that's just the ideal place. You guys are on an upward trajectory. And I think you guys soon will be contenders in the NFC.
Hey, that was phenomenal stuff right there. I'm going to make one slight correction, though. It's the 85 Bears, not the 95 Bears. I mean,
I apologize. I meant to say 85.
You're good. You're good. I mean, hey, you rattled off so much other stuff that any of the Bears fans that are listening to this are totally going to give you a pass for it. But okay, you mentioned Kyler Gordon and Jalen Johnson. You're talking about players that play two very different positions. What are you looking at specifically when you're studying Kyler Gordon? And then what are you looking at when you're studying Jalen Johnson? Because for a versatile guy like yourself that has played inside, played outside, both positions are going to have such a different dynamic, even though at the end of the day, I mean, they are both cornerbacks.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, Kyler Gordon, he's primarily a nickelback. He can also play outside if he really needed to. But one thing I like about him, he's very aggressive. He's very sound in his techniques and playing zone windows. That's kind of the main thing I study him. He's very, very good on the line of scrimmage as well. I really like the way that he plays zone windows. He has very, very high IQ. And you can just tell by the way he develops passes, the way he reads the quarterback, the way he sits in windows. He takes away a lot of those small windows that forces the quarterback maybe to force the ball somewhere where they don't want to go. And then going on to Jalen Johnson, I mean, that's just self-explanatory. For first team All-Pro, you can look up his advanced stats if you want to, Pro Football Focus if you want to. That's just a lockdown corner. I look at his technique. He's a very sound man-to-man. And the only thing I like about him, he plays really, really good in zone techniques, whether he's playing quarters or playing off. And he plays risky. At the end of the day, when you have elite preparation, that's where that confidence comes in. You're going to take more risk. There was a play that he was in Palms. Palms is a quarters coverage when you're reading 2 out. If not, you have one man in vertical. And there was one play that somebody ran a corner out. It wasn't his man, but he knew that they were going to throw the ball. I think it was against Minnesota. I'm not really sure which team it was, but he came off his route, veered off, zoned off, and he picked the ball off in the corner and made an excellent play. And there was also another play that he made on Devontae Adams. He was in zone bail, and he broke down, stopped on the route, stopped on the dime, caught the ball, had a pick six against the Raiders. And it's just his instincts just are off the charts. And I study that, and I try to apply that to my game as well, and you can see that not only is he an elite athlete, he's an elite student of the game. And if you see the trend in any good player, yes, do they have the athletic traits? Yes, do they have the size and stuff like that? They're in the NFL for a reason, but they know the game of football. And when you know the game of football, you put yourself in position to be elite.
How do you put yourself in a position to be elite on the field? I mean, it's a game where there's 22 guys on the field at one point in time, but it's always going to be, whoever can make the most plays and also make the best plays, but you also have to be smart. So how are you training yourself to kind of always be in an elite position on the field?
So the biggest thing is, I mean, when I study, I always start. So I'm gonna break it down. So when I'm studying, I always start with formation recognition. Biggest thing is recognizing what's formation, what's this, what is this team, what is this team's identity? Are they 11 personnel team? Are they a 12 personnel team? Are they a 21 personnel team? Are they line up in 13 personnel? Aligning with what is the identity's office, and then after you find their identity, who are their guys? Who is their best receiver? Who do they like giving the running back the ball? Do they incorporate their tight end? Do they bring an extra tight end for blocking? Like, what are the passing concepts? Do they like running full field concepts? Do they like running half field concepts? And then what are their tendencies on first down? That's the biggest thing, is you have to win first down. It starts with first down. What are their tendencies on first down? Do they like to run first? Do they like to pass first? What do they like to run if it's first and short? Maybe you got a penalty. What do they do in that scenario? What do they do if it's second and long, second and medium? I try to break down stuff kind of by down and distance. Try to find tendencies of the offense so I can be proactive. Even though I play a reactionary position, it's good to have the mental side so you can be proactive, so you can better kind of predict what can come to you. Kind of already have the answers to the test. And then after I study all the formational stuff, the tendencies and stuff like that, I look at the quarterback. I kind of look at his tendencies, look at his tendencies, whether how to identify if he can give me any indicators based off his stance, or whether it's pass, whether it's run, whether it's 3-step, 5-step. And then I also look at O linemen and stuff like that. That's really important for positions like nickelback and safety. Kind of looking at O linemen for keys and stuff like that, whether it's run, pass, RPO. Kind of looking for all those small nuances. Because at the end of the day, it's on film. The answers to the test are on film, and you're going to find those tendencies if you take the intentional time to actually look. So that is my preparation when I'm studying the game, and that allows me to be in position to make plays and stuff like that.
You're super detailed. Let me just say that. I mean, wherever it is you end up, and I certainly hope it is Chicago, because you seem to be really excited about the Bears. I mean, whoever you end up with, they're gonna be getting a very detailed and like player oriented individual. But a couple
Sure.
more here for you. I gotta ask you this. Growing up, did you have any favorite NFL players that you looked up to? Any guys that besides a Kyler Gordon or Jalen Johnson that you maybe tried to model your game after?
Absolutely. So my favorite defensive back, I'm not saying my favorite defensive back ever, but person that I grew up, I guess you can say grew up on and kind of like taking a liking to was Jalen Ramsey. I mean, of course, everybody knows Jalen Ramsey. He's most famous for just trash talking, but biggest thing is he backs up his trash talking. Now, personally, am I a trash talk guy? No, I'm not. I'd rather just make the play and then you're going to feel it. But the biggest thing that I liked about him, and one thing in college, he was also versatile. He started off as a safety, ended up moving to outside quarterback, and now he's one of the best defensive backs of this generation. And I still think that he's a really, really good player and doesn't kind of get the respect that he deserves. Even currently right now on the Dolphins, stuff like that, people may say he has a down year. I mean, he's still elite. He still covers, and he's a great tackler. That's one thing that I love about him. That in his game, of course, he's coverage. He can make his picks and stuff like that. We all know that he's a perennial defensive player, first team All Pro, definitely the best corner of this generation. Even you can make an argument for best defensive back of this generation. But one thing I love about him, he's a very sound tackler. He's very physical on the line of scrimmage. And if you see over his past few years, even his last stint with the LA Rams, kind of a big reason why they had a good running in the Super Bowl was his out lockdown play on the outside. And not only that, he showed his versatility by being able to move inside the nickel, make plays, make defenders miss, make O-linemen miss, be physical, shed blocks on O-linemen, still make a tackle in the backfield, and showing the ability to blitz off the edge, play zone windows, make picks and stuff like that. So I love Jalen Ramsey. I model my game after him. And then I study him to this day. I study his film year in and year out. And aside from Jalen Ramsey, my favorite player was Cam Newton. I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm a North Carolina guy, so I'm a Carolina Panthers fan, of course. And then, so I love Cam Newton. He just brought a lot of joy to the game. And the biggest thing is he doesn't get credit for it. He's a one-man army. No, he has a controversial personality and stuff like that, but he's one-on-one. He loves his community. He's very honest and stuff like that. That's the reason I think people dislike him. He's very honest. I mean, can he have some very hot takes and say some things that are off the wall? Yeah, but who doesn't? But at the end of the day, I love the way he played the game. He was very physical, put the team on his back when he needed to. And in my opinion, I think he was very selfless about the way he played. He played through a lot of injuries and stuff like that. There'd be games that you can visibly see as a fan, especially if you really watch, that he was tore up. But he loved his teammates, and he's willing to put his body on the line and sacrifice. So traits like that is what stuff that inspired me to start playing the game of football and stuff like that. And then Cam was just electrifying. One of the best dual threats to ever play the game of football.
That was awesome, by the way. Got two more for you here, but the first thing is you played a lot of football. Do you have a favorite memory from your high school or your high school playing days, even your college playing days, things that happen on the field that you are always going to remember no matter what?
Absolutely. So, and I'm in high school. My journey in high school was very unique. So my last year, the fourth game of the season, I dislocated my shoulder. So, and then I missed the game because I had to go physical therapy, stuff like that, get some of the range of motion back in my shoulder. And then luckily we had a hurricane that pushed the games back about 2 weeks. So luckily I only missed one game. And then so I didn't get cleared all the way up to like the day before the game that I came back. So that game was like the only game I didn't start. So then we played a really good team in Richmond County, and I got into the game late. And then my coach just randomly threw me at cornerback. And then I never played cornerback before at that time in high school level. I was a free safety, strong safety. And then the first play I got in to make a really big hit, and the quarterback made a hard play. And then my coach texted me next week, you may be playing corner. You may be playing strong safety, but regardless, be ready to play because I really liked what you did when I came in the game. And that year, actually, my entire senior year, I played with a torn labrum the whole year and still was able to get off blocks, be good in pass coverage, make physical tackles. So I played injured, but I played well enough to still be able to garner offers, and a lot of people saw my potential because that was my first year of really playing football, and I wasn't a cerebral part. I didn't have the cerebral part of my game really develop. I was really just playing off of raw ability and instinct. And in terms of my favorite memory in college, I have a few. I'm gonna do my top three. So my first one, 2023, we played Davidson College, which was a Division I where Steph Curry went. That's the best way. They were on a triple option. And then they threw the ball. They targeted me about 4 times that game. I gave up a catch. I gave up a catch in the fourth quarter of that game and stuff like that. But I had 3 pass breakups in that game in total and about 7 tackles, stuff like that. But we end up as a Division II team knocking off a Division I team, which is huge because Barton College is a relatively new program. That is our 3rd season, and we're being a Division I team. So that's a testament to the work that the guys at Barton put in, the coach staff put in, and then we put a full team effort game in because it was a dogfight in and out. We were down 21-7 at the end of the first quarter and ended up winning, I believe, 28-27, 30-27. So we won a hard-nosed football game against a team whose identity was ground and pound. Now, my second family memory is this year at Lenoir-Rhyne. We were playing a great Marseille team, and we were losing most of this game. We were losing 13-21 mid-third quarter, and all momentum's against us. They just scored and stuff like that, and we're on kickoff. And I made a great effort play. I was at the L1 on kickoff, and I ran the return team took it to the left side. I ran all the way across the field, bent the corner because I was unblocked, and I made a great hit and forced a fumble and flipped the momentum the entire game, and we kind of ran away from it. And then we ended up winning that game, moving on 3-0, starting 1-0, setting the tone for us in conference play. So that's a very good moment for me because I played a big part in that, and I take pride in showing that effort and that hustle to be able to make that type of play because it not only did it change the trajectory of that game, it changed the trajectory of our season. So that was a really good thing. And my special team coach telling me all week, you're going to be unblocked. Make this play. And then being able to make that play when being challenged in front of everybody to make this play was a really, really good thing and a good feeling. Definitely was a confidence booster. And then third family memory is 2021, our first year of competition at Barton College. That year I played straight nickelback. And then we're 3-3. And we're 3-3 right now. Just came off a tough loss to Marseille our first year. And then we're playing an undefeated Wingate University team, which is also another D2 team that's year in, year out going to be quality, going to make the playoffs, going to be a contender in the South Atlantic Conference. They were ranked number 8 in the nation, and we're a team full of freshmen. And maybe 2 older guys. We're a team full of freshmen. We're hungry. We're ready to play and stuff like that. And then we end up knocking off Wingate, who was ranked number 8 in the nation. They were 7-0. We were 3-3, and we beat them in overtime, 26-20. And I had a pretty good game that game. I had about 8 tackles, and I had a really big pass deflection on 3rd down that sent the game into overtime as they were driving the ball up the field, trying to look to sneak away a victory. But I made a good play to kick the field goal, going to overtime, and then we end up coming out clutch. We scored we forced a fumble on defense, and then we game-winning touchdown by Jordan Terrell. And then those are my top 3 favorite moments, just beating teams that nobody gave us a chance again or making momentum plays that shift the momentum of the game in order to get a victory. At the end of the day, we play football. Of course, everybody loves the bells and whistles of football, the individual glory, but at the end of the day, it's about winning. And at the end of the day, I contributed to 3 big wins in my career that I'll always cherish and I'll always remember. So being able to contribute to winning is the most important thing in football, and that is the biggest thing that I will contribute to anybody who will take a chance on me in any aspect. Is I will contribute to winning, whether I'm a practice squad guy, I'm a second string, third string guy playing safety, playing nickel, corner, or I'm just a straight special team guy. I'm a hard worker. I'm relentless, and I believe that I possess the traits and athletic ability and IQ to be an asset to an NFL franchise.
Last one for you here before we get you out of here, but we talked so much about the football side of things. I mean, outside of football, what are you into? Give me some hobbies, things you like to do when you're not in the weight room or on the field.
So, I mean, of course, from that, I'm a family guy, so I love spending time with my family, spending time with my son. I'm very musically inclined, so I like to play music. I know how to play every single percussion instrument from the drums, stuff like that. I love music. I love nature walks. And then honestly, I have a master's degree in kinesiology, so I have an advanced study moving the body, so I love the body. I love training and stuff like that. So I train people. I may train people on the side, or I do some assisted motion recovery therapy, help people stretch, stuff like that. So like I'm really, I love the body. I love music. I love spending time with my family. I love cooking. I love steak. I can eat a steak every single day. I love cooking steak. I actually had a steak yesterday. I love food, and I love the camaraderie of life. I love the small things. People are always stressing themselves out on the bigger things in life. I believe that simplicity is the kind of the true gift in life, being able to enjoy the little things in life, such as waking up next to your partner or waking up and seeing your kid is excited to see you when you get them out the crib. Like, I enjoy little stuff like that. I enjoy spending time with family, maybe going out to eat or having a family nights at the house and watching movies, just bonding time with family. I'm very big on family. I'm the oldest of five. So I have two brothers and two sisters. So responsibility and spending family time and quality time is nothing new to me. I've always babysitted my kids because my parents, at the end of the day, we have a big household that my parents have to work to be able to provide and stuff like that. My father and my mom have been married for 25 years. And then it's just I've had a great example growing up. So I love family. That's the biggest thing about me is I love family.
That is awesome. I mean, where can people follow you in the world of Twitter and Instagram? Keep up with your work as well as your journey as you get ready to get to the league here and basically have your career change forever.
Absolutely. So if you want to follow me, you can follow me at the J Wheeler on Twitter. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it is Wheeler Island, Wheeler Island. Just it's kind of self-explanatory. I play defensive back, and then those are my pretty active social medias and social medias that I'm mainly on and stuff like that. So if you're interested, you can definitely follow me and stuff like that. And I follow back, interact. I'm not Hollywood. I love people. I love meeting new people, new conversations and stuff like that. Some different backgrounds and big on all of that stuff. So those are my social media platforms.
Frank, this has been fun. Keep in touch. If there's anything we can ever do for you here at Bay Report, anything I can ever do for you, let me know. Don't hesitate to reach out at all. Looking forward to hopefully seeing you in a Bears uniform very soon, but wherever you end up, we'll be rooting for you. So thanks again for doing this.
Thank you, and thank you for the opportunity and talking on the platform, taking time out your day, man. I like your content. I watched some of your other interviews as well. Really like what you're doing. Keep it up.